Rolling.
Oh, hi there. My name is Sika, and we're here to talk about Smythe crystal. Are we done?
Did you wash your hands?
Hi there. Sika again, here to talk to you about Smythe crystal. You see, Smythe crystal is a company that's been around for quite some time, making beautiful vases and wine glasses for your enjoyment. Now, Smythe crystal has an issue where they're actually trying to find out their best overhead cost per unit. Now, are they going to want something that is going to be based off of direct labor units, or are they going to want something that's based off of, oh, I don't know, something like overall number of units? What's going to be the best? That's what we're here to explain. Today, we'll be talking about Smythe crystal and how they found their overhead cost per unit. During this period, their direct labor costs are $5,590,000 and their setup costs are $625,000. Now, with that said, we have their expected production at this period to be 206,000 units for wine glasses, 10,000 units for vases. Also, what our activity driver is for this period is going to be our direct labor hours. Now, the direct labor hours for wine glasses is 258,000 direct labor hours, and the vases are 15,600 direct labor hours. Right now, we're focusing on these direct labor hours, not the machine setups required, but in our next example, I will highlight that. Now, to find our overhead rate, what we're going to have to do, or what Smythe crystal had to do, was take their overhead or setup costs. Now you can find that here, which, if you recall, we have $625,000 in our overhead costs. And we're going to divide that by our direct labor hours required, so our activity driver. Now we're going to do both of them at this point. We're going to add the 258,000 to the 15,600, which gives us our overhead rate of 2.28. Now that we know what our overhead rate is, we're going to go ahead and write down our individual activity drivers for each product. For our wine glasses, it is 258,000 direct labor hours. And then for our vases, it is the 15,600 direct labor hours. Now, if to multiply both the overhead rate and the activity driver per product, you will get your total overhead rate of $588,240 for wine glasses and the vases at $35,568. Now, that's not the end of what Smythe crystal had to do to find out their overhead cost per unit. Once you have this number, what you need to do is take your units produced, or that's what Smythe crystal had to do. They took their 206,000 units from wine glasses and divided it by this number here. And then they took their 10,000 units from the vases and divided it into this here, and that gives us both our overhead cost per unit for wine glasses and vases. Yay! Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, and now we have our second go around. Instead, this time we are not going to be using direct labor hours for our activity driver. Instead, we are going to be using our machine setups required. So we are still finding our overhead rate. We're taking our overhead rate of $625,000, dividing it just by the number of setups. So just go straight across, add your 300 to your 200 setups, which gives you 500. And then we're going to divide 625,000 by 500, which gives us our overhead rate of $1,250. Now, with that said, your activity drivers need to be separated out with your wine glasses and vases. So 300 setups for our wine glasses, 200 setups for our vases. As I said, multiplying these here are going to give you your total overhead rate. So our wine glasses are a 375,000 total overhead rate. Our vases are here are 250,000 of our total overhead rate. Now, Again, if you recall, we're going to get our overhead cost per unit by just dividing our units produced into the total overhead rate. So if you recall right, we have our 206,000 units of wine glasses, as well as 10,000 units of vases. So we're just going to divide that right in. When we do that, we get our overhead cost per unit of $182 for our wine glasses, and we get $25 per unit for our vases. Yay! Hi! Sika here again. Just catching up on all of my accounting, because I have an exam in a couple of days. So, I hope that you found that last video instructive as well as informative for our Smythe crystal friends. So remember, when you need a nice commemorative vase or even a wine glass for those hard days after your long accounting exams, remember Smythe crystal. Yay!